Netflix, where your fearless co-hosts Isaac and Larry force each other to watch the worst pieces of shit on Netflix. We will go over every bad edit, all the broken dialogue, all the wooden acting, and laugh along the way, because this is the Bowels of Netflix! Alright, and welcome to the Bowels of Netflix. I am Isaac, and with me as always is my fearless co-host Larry. How are you doing this week, Larry?
Hello! I'm great. How are you, best friend Isaac?
I'm good.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
I'm not
I'm in a good
out of
mood.
Control. Are you a robot? What did you do with Larry?
No,
Oh, wait, this is just Alexa.
I'm proving to you how happy I am about the movie I had to watch this week and my current place in life. I haven't spent time questioning everything.
Your mouth is smiling, but your eyes are empty black pits that reflect back my own insecurities.
Well, I mean, what else is new? Oh, that is what I go for. I do go for when people... there's what's the Charles Manson line? It's like when you look up, you see God. When you look down, you see the devil. When you look straight ahead, you see yourself. That's what I'm going for.
That's a good line.
Yeah, he's a lunatic. I'm going for the lunatic vibe. Isaac, I hate to tell you this. I'm very upset.
So you didn't enjoy your movie?
No, I'm fucking livid. I am the most livid I've ever been.
I think these two episodes, this one and the next one, are probably the most angry that a full round for us is, because I am so upset about my mermaid movie.
I'm excited, if only for our audience, because I think these are going to be real bangers. But I'm fucking livid.
Yeah, we might pass out before the end of these episodes.
I'm the most upset.
So we are the Bowels of Netflix. We're two old friends who hate each other dearly. Every week one of us makes the other one watch a terrible movie and describe it back in excruciating detail. We live on Facebook, we live on Twitter, we're the only Bowels of Netflix out there. If you find another one, I swear to God, we will mail you a bomb. You should rate and subscribe, and set it to download, tell your friends, hide your grandmother's medication till she starts listening. Do all those things. Buzz market. That's how we roll.
Buzz
market. That's a thing.
Buzz market? Is that the market that Christ went to and flipped over all the tables?
No, that's where they sell bees.
Oh.
Ha, get it. No, if you're a personality, if you got yourself a little YouTube channel or you have a podcast of your own, give us a shout out. And if you prove that you gave us a shout out, we'll give you a shout out, and our millions of listeners in Kansas will be turned onto your YouTube page.
Everyone in Kansas.
Yeah, literally. Hello, Kansanians. Kansasites.
Kansasites.
Sounds too close. Nazis?
I don't know if we want to go with that.
Oh, God. What movie are you getting into?
It's Guest House. It's Guest House starring Pauly Sure. It's Guest House.
Pauly Sure. That's a A-list celebrity if I've ever heard of one.
What do you know about Pauly Sure, Isaac?
He had a show on MTV in the 80s. And
that's probably true.
He's been the butt of a lot of jokes I've heard about crappy entertainers.
Yeah, me too. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He's done nothing of value.
I know his name and I know virtually nothing about him.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. That's all he is. He's human trash who never deserved the career he had, what little of it there was, and gets nothing. Nothing. Oh, God. Oh, it's 4 minutes and I'm already upset.
Oh, Pauly.
You're all bad people. All of you out there who revel in my hate and suffering, you're all bad people, and you're all canceled. I'm canceling all of you.
I don't think you can do that.
It's done. I've done it. This is going to be the fastest review I've ever done, because if I talk about it too much, my head is actually going to explode. I cut out some swaths of this that just were the same. This is... Now, go ahead.
I thought you would enjoy this movie, being the party animal that you are.
Yeah, that's me, the guy who's never had a drop of alcohol or a single drug in his life. Definitely. I'm definitely a party animal.
Why do you have it tattooed on your ass?
Oh, is that what that says? I was chloroformed, and someone performed a tattoo on me without my consent.
You're welcome, Larry.
It was you?
What?
I knew those tomatoes tasted funny. This is hands down the worst Bowles movie I've had to watch to date.
Jesus. That's a bold statement.
I am livid. I am so furious. This is just Arthur all over again. It's like you knew how much I would hate hearing about Arthur, and then you fucking stabbed me right in the chest with a big knife made of weed and cocaine, and not the kind that I want to snort.
I wouldn't have guessed that. All I know, I saw the beginning up until he's like laying on the ground, and then I saw 30 seconds of a party scene with a ton of tits. And I was like, this looks bad enough.
The tits were fine.
Very much nothing about the movie.
Every second of watching this stupid, vapid, idiotic, party animal, rich, spoiled, idiotic old man, Pauly Sure, clinging to whatever scraps of fame he cobbled together like a hair shirt made of pubes, was more painful than all the burns I ever got working in a restaurant combined, including that time I almost cut my wrist open on a superstar blade that still gives me nightmares. I would rather run around my apartment complex nude, screaming about the aliens that put a hybrid baby in my asshole, than watch this awful, terrible movie ever again. Hallelujah! Holy shit, where's the Tylenol?
I feel like it might be more threatening if you whispered instead of screamed.
That would be, if we hit a level of rage transcendence where I'm whispering, run. Save yourself.
There's a bomb sewn into your ass that's going to explode.
One can only hope that if someone takes me out the second I start whispering in fury. Because we've clearly gone too far.
Yeah.
Guest House is a Netflix original. It's a 2020 film that was directed by a man named Sam Macaroni.
What? Come on.
You think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
Really? Any relation to Spaghetti de Coco?
Yeah, second cousin.
They're in the pasta family.
He's done nothing else of value. Nothing else of value. His name is Sam Macaroni. So someone said, you're the guy I want to direct this fucking movie.
It's a great name.
On IMDb, it has 4.4 stars. How did we let this happen, America? How?
You've seen America and what it's done over the last decade.
Son of a bitch. So even the Google reviews, those are my new favorite thing. Well, I say new, but it's been a couple months now. Unfortunately, there was nothing. They're actually pretty bad. It's a 2.2 on Google. And there was not even any reviews that were worth bringing up, so I don't have any particular ones to read. Sadly, I've been let down. There's really most of them are negative, which, I mean, I'm not going to read a negative review, and I'm sitting right here. I am a negative review come to life. Weirdly, and I don't know if this is just something wrong with Rotten Tomatoes. The Rotten Tomatoes page for this is not coming up. It gives a 404 error, but it does exist because the page, it's RottenTomatoes.com/guesthouse. So it's there. And in Pauly Sure's IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes page, it's listed. So I have the tomato meter there and the audience score. The audience score for Guest House is 43%. Disgustingly high. Disgustingly high is what you'd have to be to like this. Is disgustingly high. The tomato meter is a 0%, and I would say that's accurate. Yeah. From what I saw from the Google reviews, it looks like the people who liked it were definitely high, 100%. I mean, fucking, of course. But there's a lot of, it's good to see Pauly Sure back. Pauly Sure was never in anything good. And I'm going to be, let's not lie, screaming about that later. So I'll spare you a list now of all the things he was in that are not good. His highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes is a 57%.
Ouch.
His record of good versus bad is worse than Steven Seagal.
Get out of here.
And Steven Seagal is in a lot more things than he is.
Steven Seagal's been in 2 movies a year.
You and I have almost been in as many movies as Pauly Shore has been. I don't understand. So I guess he was and I'm talking about him specifically because he's He's the main attraction of today's episode.
He's the guest.
Fuck yourself. Fucking drink my piss. He's been in like nothing of value at all. And I guess he was like on MTV and was like a comedian, but I just know he was in Biodome and Encino Man, and guess what? Both of those movies are terrible. I've never seen Encino Man. I've seen Biodome a very long time ago, and it's just wretched.
He's as D-list as D-list gets.
But like everybody kind of knows who he is, though, right?
Yeah, I feel like the name sticks in your head. It's annoying.
Maybe because it's Pauly. Because there's only one other Pauly, and that's Pauly Walnuts from fucking The Sopranos. Yes, the character's name is actually Pauly Walnuts.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Oh, I'm glad you're so heated.
Yeah,
I see the steam rising off of your nipples.
I'm very upset. I'm legitimately very upset. I'm very upset about the whole thing. I was upset the whole time. I was slamming my keyboard at points.
Ouch.
So this movie opens up super weird. And not like bad weird, just like I don't know why they did it this way weird. Over top of the credits, we get like what appears to be 9mm film of like some college party. It's run-of-the-mill college stuff and not worth mentioning anything of. It's just like, it's a bunch of dudes drinking and getting high and, blah, 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 and doing body shots off of chicks. Born to be Wild is playing over it, a song that I hate, by the way.
A timely song, too.
It's in every movie. Stop it. Stop playing it. It's bad. It's a bad song. It was never good. Stop it.
It was outdated 20 years ago, especially to use in a movie.
Yeah. So, over this credit, it's just, I thought, the first time I watched this, I had no clue I thought it was just like, oh, okay, so they're getting us into the mentality of a party. The second time I watched this, I realized, oh no, this is plot. Because
really?
When you first watch this, it's just a bunch of random college kids like drinking and getting high and doing stupid shit. And then as I watched it the second time, I'm like, wait a minute, that's the main character. Oh, and that's the main girl. Okay, odd. So we see that like the main character, the main boy, I'm going to call him Boyo, and I'm going to call the girl Girly, which I'll explain in a minute. So they're there, like Boyo's at this party, like drunk off his ass, and some other dude brings his girlfriend, who's, going to be the main character later, and they like meet and like shake hands, and her boyfriend is ignoring her, but it's like all done silently in 9mm film with like Born to be Wild playing over it. And then when the movie starts legitimately, it says 3 years later. So, like, I didn't realize I was supposed to take something out of that.
It's a bold artistic choice, Larry.
No, it's a stupid idiot choice. So, like I said, I'm going to call the main two characters Girly and Boyo, and the only reason for that is that every day when I walk the dog in the morning, he tries to go around our apartment complex for a longer walk, even though our morning walk is always short because I have to go to work. And every morning I say, as he turns to go the other direction, I say, "You wish, Boyo," and then pull him the right way. And that was all I had, because these two characters are bland as white bread. So like I said, it's 3 years later, which, again, feels really unnecessary, and they try to cram a lot of weird, unneeded details into this movie. It's very Wayans-like. You'll hear me bring that up again. So, fucking spoilers, I guess, but the whole point of this movie is just to see Pauly Shore talk about cocks. That's it. That's it. That's the whole fucking movie. And yet they try to cram this weird relationship story in between the plot that doesn't matter, but we'll get to all that.
Oh my god.
You fucking cuck. Our couple is driving along in a rich person neighborhood. There's ham-fisted Wayans banter about how they can't afford anything, but Girly says Daddy is going to help them pay for it. Gross.
Oh boy.
Boyo says he doesn't even like me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you think I was kidding? Did you think I was kidding about this being a fucking Wayans flick? If you listen to any of my Wayans episodes, there's always a spot in the first 3 minutes where they're like, oh yeah, but you're the best lawyer on the East Coast, and your dad came here, and this is talking about this walking out of this building, and never actually show it, and then just get a woo, wild Wayans throwing stuff into the street. That's what this is! But Pauly Shore, it's even worse! A semi-romantic comedy where the father of the bride doesn't like the groom. What a novel and interesting concept. I wonder if they'll explore that in a meaningful way. Derp de doop 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 doo! Wow!
God. Larry. Calm down.
It's going
to be okay.
It's been 15 minutes.
We're gonna be okay.
I currently don't have neighbors above or next to me. They've both moved out because I think the one guy was beating his girlfriend. I don't know what happened to the other set. I think they just disappeared one day. Literally one day they were just gone. So I can just scream as loud as I want. Kids, if you're currently writing a screenplay right now, delete it. Delete every word. Don't follow your dreams. Stop it. Go to law school. Go to law school! The biggest problem with this movie overall, so I don't have to harp about it forever, is that the two main characters are the most paper-thin, unlikable cookie-cutter people. Their acting isn't the worst I've seen, especially because nothing is ever going to fucking compare to Bedeviled. The worst 5 actors on the planet in Bedeviled. And these two get the point across, but there's just nothing there. There's not, like, it's like they didn't need to be anything because Pauly Shore is what the movie is. Like, especially the girly, she's even more, she's almost like a supporting character. Almost. Just because, like, she's just there to bounce off the main character, the main guy, Boyo. Like, he's the, I don't even fucking care. Fuck it. Fuck. Shit. Asshole. To prove my point, we get a tour of the new house. It's fucking big and gorgeous, blah, blah. They talk about who's going to be good cop and bad cop, but this means fucking nothing to the rest of the movie, since they have no characters to develop anyway. There's just nothing. There's nothing. Ah!
So good cop and bad cop with a real estate agent?
Yeah. They're going to be, okay. They're going to try and, like, when you buy a car or a house or anything, you gotta, right. So.
I'm always the sexy cop.
How's that work out?
I have a Honda I paid $40,000 for. Used. Please, sir, put your shirt back on. This is a car dealership. There's children.
Fuck's sake. All right. So believe it or not, Pauly Shore's living in the guest house.
Get out of here.
That's the catch. Because the house is enormous, has a big, gorgeous yard, and it's fantastic, and it's like very like upper middle class. Like very, it's like right, it might even be like low high class. Like it's not a mansion, but it is like the high, like a 4-person family. It's like the highest home that a regular group of people can aspire to.
Gotcha.
That aren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth, basically.
What's the legality of Pauly Shore staying in the guest house?
Oh, Isaac, that's an interesting question. It's almost like I'm going to ask that 1,000,000 times.
Is that why you're telling everyone to go to law school?
I'm telling you to go to law school to break me out of prison, so they can break me out of prison when I fucking murder you. We're going to have to, by the way, can you delete that line so that they don't use that in court?
Yeah, no, I'll just make another thing where I repeat it over and over again.
Hopefully our audience is just as willing to put me away, because it'd be funny. If you've listened to me scream and moan, it'd probably be funnier to put me away.
You can do podcasts from prison. We talked about that already.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, the show goes on, Larry.
It's true. I'll just talk to your ghost.
Oh, right. This plan involves you killing me.
Yeah, in this fantasy of yours, I've murdered you. With your own microphone. I beat you to death with it.
Let me pre-record a bunch of canned responses, and you can just splice them in. I'll go now. That's crazy, Larry. What's the deal with airplanes? Snoop Dogg, again.
Add that to the soundboard, the Isaac Riley soundboard.
That should cover it. That's enough material.
Right, so, okay, yeah, Pauly Shore, yep. I mean, I think I said everything that needs to be said. I have a note here. Talk about Pauly Shore. I've done it. There's nothing to say. He was in Encino Man, which is probably his best-known movie, astonishingly, which is terrible. I know enough about it to know that it's terrible.
I've never even heard of it.
It's bad. That's really all you need to know. And he's in Biodome, which I think is maybe also pretty well known. I know it.
I don't know.
I don't know. He's not. I don't understand. Why do people like Pauly Shore? He's never been good. It's not just me not hating everything. Like, the consensus is that he's never been good. Like, what is that? Like, there's people who like the Wayans, you know? What is happening with Pauly Shore? What's the deal with Pauly Shore?
He probably fucked his way to the top.
I don't think he did. Have you seen him?
A mouth is a mouth, Larry. That's Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm not going to compare Pauly Shore to Weinstein, but I think Pauly Shore should be jailed for being bad at being a human.
I feel like Pauly Shore sucked Harvey Weinstein's dick through a glory hole.
I'm willing to say that may have happened.
Yeah. I need this, Harvey. I need to be in a movie.
Oh my god. So
I'm a star.
All right, so the guest house, it's pretty small. It's like 2 rooms. Really, I've never been in a real guest house because I don't know rich people. But it's the only light bulbs in it are red. It's full of like weird, gaudy paraphernalia, including like the skull of Richard Ramirez. He's got like weird clothes and like a Napoleon hat. Sounds a lot like Arthur with his fucking Abe Lincoln clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So inside the guest house, Shore is old fat guy dancing, by which I mean marching in place, because that's all fucking old fat white men can do. The couple sees this ridiculous guest house and just says, nope, no thank you, and goes to leave. Thank you for coming to my review. Next week, Isaac is reviewing The Little Mermaid or whatever. I don't know. So that's it. I'll smell you later.
Yep. There's more, Larry.
Nope,
Come on.
Nope.
I know there's
That's
more.
It. That's it.
Nope. You can't get out of it.
Please.
Nope.
Isaac, I'll suck your dick.
If you suck my dick through a hole in the wall.
Isaac, don't make me turn into a threat. I've done that in the past. I'll fucking suck your dick. I'll fucking do it. You motherfucker. You fucking think I won't? All right. So the realtor stops them from leaving and says that Shore is going to be out by the end of the month. The couple and the realtor go in to negotiate everything with Shore because they love the house so much. They're like willing to entertain the thought of, okay, we can have this guy for a month because the house is great. Shore apparently sent the realtor a dick pic while they were going back and forth talking about her showing up to show the house. Again, at this point, I have a lot of questions about what's the deal with Pauly Shore, legitimately. What is he doing here? But we'll just get into it later because it's not worth it. Gurley storms off after Shore mentions that the place smells like bong water and KY jelly, and the realtor goes after her. This leaves Shore and Boyo alone, where Shore offers Boyo some weed. We get some back and forth about how Boyo doesn't do drugs and stuff anymore since college. This apparently is a fucking cornerstone of the plot. So don't forget it. That 9mm fucking minute of under credits horseshit of him getting hammered apparently is the cornerstone of this entire plot.
Don't break your computer.
I was shaking it angrily. They talk about the property. This brings up several questions. 1, why is Shore here? 2, does he own the house? 3, how did he get here? 4, why has he been allowed to stay here all this time? 5, does he pay them rent or does he just perpetually hang out? 6, how does he afford all the weird expensive stuff he has? 7, how does he afford the mountains of drugs he seems to have? 8, why has no one beaten him to death yet? Anyway, Shore does a bunch of coke and basically just tries to bamboozle Boyo into letting him stay. So that's that. And they just buy the house. And now, apparently, in between scenes, Shore is now staying 3 months. Without just talking about it. He's just there 3 months now. And they still bought the house. Are you fucking kidding me?
Good God.
So they briefly talk about it. Gurley is uncertain, but they both love the house so much, they're going to make it work no matter what. I hate
Sounds
this.
like hijinks will ensue.
I hate this. Nothing's happened yet, and I hate this. I hate you. I hate the audience. Mostly I hate myself. 2 months.
No, mostly you can hate Pauly Shore more.
Well, I mean, it's transcended hate.
In your darkest moments, just remember Pauly Shore is worse.
He's so much more money than me. He's loved and respected.
Don't think about that.
He's loved and respected by at least hundreds of people. Seamus.
I love and respect you.
Yeah, well, that's okay. There's 1.
I'm worth 3.
There's 1.5.
Okay. Told you I was good at bargaining.
All right, so 2 months go by. We get a lot of time jumps in this movie. It's very weird. And they start moving in. We get a little montage of shit going into the house while they're all happy and whatnot. Eventually, at one point, Boyo hears weird noises in the guest house and goes in to investigate to find Shore fucking a large woman at a sex swing. Both offer him to join them while he tries to set a date for Shore to leave. This is all part of the montage. Eventually, all their food gets stolen out of the kitchen by Shore. On the first day, beat him to death with a stop sign.
That's specific.
This is all part of the montage. Which, by the way, get used to hearing me say the word montage.
Gotta fill time.
Oh no, I'm whispering. Oh no, the sniper, the laser sight is climbing my chest. The night after they finish moving, Girly tells Boyo, they're in bed. Girly tells Boyo he is getting rewarded for moving all the boxes and that she will fuck him in whatever way he wishes. He requests that she acts like a dude, and she's totally into it, and I don't know if that's supposed to mean something or not, but I guess it's a thing that's happening, and I'm mentioning it.
Does she peg him?
No, he wants her to talk like a dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I don't know. It feels
if you like it, go for it.
It feels like they're making a joke out of it, and like, I don't understand. Whatever. I mean, who cares? Do whatever you want. Is like the way people fuck still a point of comedy now? I thought we were over that.
I don't know. I don't even know. As long as they're consenting adults.
Exactly. Maybe.
Or
maybe I'm just thankful everyone's
animal.
Consenting. Or you own the animal. Isaac, you can't talk like that when I've given you an animal I love. Okay? I will beat you to death. Man. For real. You can take that to the bank.
I will never fuck that cat.
Good.
But she has the weirdest, biggest, blackest pussy. Every time she walks by, it's just like, hey, look at my pussy.
Isaac,
it's big and black.
Please don't talk about my cat's pussy. Please don't talk about my pussy's pussy. I guess it's not mine anymore. This is awful. This is terrible. You're going to go to jail.
She got out of the cone.
I saw.
She's very, very happy to not be in the cone.
I saw. That's good. We don't talk otherwise, folks, because we hate each other too much. So sometimes you have to hear our mundane conversation. Okay, so yeah. In the middle of them fucking or starting to fuck, however, there's a bunch of hippies outside just loudly retching as Shore and some old hippies are doing ayahuasca in the yard and then scream puking. Scream puking is a thing.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. This is great.
People with vomit phobias beware.
Hilarious. Next morning, Girly heads off to work and finds Shore dressed like the Roman soldier who pierced Christ passed out in the driveway. Boyo pours coffee all over him, and they have a stupid hungover guy, sober guy argument. Like, Shore's hungover and Boyo's sober. Boyo demands that Shore be gone by the end of the day, but Shore counters that when it comes to tenants' rights in California, it's always, quote, pro-motherfucking tenant, so they can't do anything to him. Boy, not the case in Pennsylvania, let me tell you what. They sure do not give a fuck about anybody here. Boyo grits his teeth and decides the best way to deal with the situation is to get high. He says that if they were in college, they would be best friends since Boyo was a wild child. Shore says to prove that Boyo can hang, he has to smoke weed out of a thick, veiny dick bong that Shore holds up to his crotch in the sex swing. Boyo has to be browbeaten into it, but eventually sucks the dick bong, so they fucking get high together, and believe it or not, get used to this, there's a montage of weird shit while they bond and get totally fucking wasted, man. 20 minutes in, 2 montages.
Good God.
Not the last 2.
And the dick bong, come on.
Isn't that so funny, Isaac? To smoke weed out of a bong shaped like a thick, veiny dick.
Larry, my sense of humor can very much be described as childish, but come on.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. So, fuck you, and fuck Pauly Shore. Shore reveals he has a treasure trove of various drugs and pills in a treasure chest. He thought I was kidding when I said treasure trove. And he talks about the one drug he doesn't have and has never had, which is called Flocka. Shout out to Orange is the New Black, a show which has 7 seasons, 2 of which are good. Flocka, if you don't know, is called the insanity... It's not real. It's called the insanity drug. And we get a short news story of people losing their goddamn shit while high on it, including a guy jumping through a truck window, and a guy breaking out of a refrigerator, and a guy fucking his motorcycle tailpipe. So...
Oh boy.
Drugs. It gets you really high, I guess.
Sounds like a drug I want to do.
Well, you're not Pauly Shore. And thank God, because I'd be in jail and you'd be dead. So Girly gets home and is mad that Boyo was high and that he didn't end up kicking Shore out like he was supposed to. She gets upset because, obviously, this is hardly the behavior of a sane person. She drops a line about how she's stressed out from teaching the 2nd grade and how little money the school gets and, blah, blah, blah. A fact which only ever comes up here, so why even bother? Just the relationship storyline, which is supposed to be the driving point of this movie, takes the backest of seats. It takes so far of a back seat, it's in a different car. This movie is just to show Pauly Shore's back in a big way, baby. And this trying to, I don't even want to. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm on page 2 of 7. This is ridiculous. It's just I can't. This. We'll get into it later because I get really mad about this stupid relationship storyline. But yeah, she says like, "Oh, we don't have money for chalkboard. Well, it's not what a whiteboard. Whatever. Fucking who cares?" But like, again, I just watched a guy suck smoke out of Pauly Shore's dick. Like, really, what are you doing? Why are we doing this? She does mention how Boyo has only a quote skateboarding job, which we'll get to in a minute.
What?
Holy shit, we'll get to in a fucking minute. Jesus, mother of Christ, we'll get to.
What is a skateboarding job?
Isaac, that's a great question. I wish I had an answer for you.
So many questions.
Girlie goes to see her dad, played by Billy Zane, who, if you don't know, was one of the bullies in Back to the Future and the villain in Titanic. Which there is Titanic has a villain, which is not the iceberg. And also Sean Spencer from Psych loves him, and frankly, I'm not sure why anymore. Billy Zane was in a lot of shit. You probably know him, but I don't know. He exists. That's what I have to say about it.
Fair enough.
I'm 20 minutes into runtime of the movie, and I'm already starting to tap out at that point. I'm just reading my own sentences, and it's starting to spiral off into like, what is the meaning of life? Like, not specifically that, but it's getting real rambly. I don't know what kind of mood the Larry who wrote this review was in, but it's a weird one. So Girlie says she thinks Boyo is on drugs. Zane hates Boyo, so tells her to give him up, blah, blah, blah. Again, to fucking listen to Eddie Marlon Wayans review, I'm not doing it again. He gives her some advice about how she should give up on him and such. He's supposed to be a badass, and he's an intense dude when he wants to be, and I guess he's fine as far as an actor go. Like, he has a halfway funny bit later, like a 10-second bit near the end of the movie, but I mean, I don't know. I get nothing out of this. Go away, Billy Zane. And continuing the cavalcade of worthless old men who need to go away, Steve-O literally skates into this fucking movie.
Get out of here. This is the second time we've had Steve-O in a movie.
Really? What was the other one?
The Spy Girl one, where she was a secret spy.
Steve-O was in that? I don't remember.
And Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, that was fucking Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
I forget.
That was the one with Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah.
And they were going to put a car battery on her nipples, and Steve-O...
That's the part you remember?
Yeah, well, that's the part Steve-O was in.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
He had a heart-to-heart about, like, being a teenager and how hard it is.
Okay.
It was dumb.
What was the name of that movie?
I don't know. Teen girl spy thing.
Teen girl spy thing.
Can we think they're attractive or not yet?
No, that was what you called it in your own head. Fucking Steve-O literally skates into the movie in some, and this is not a joke, this is my description, an industrial skate park office.
Man.
He smashes through a glass door, must be a Hillary Clinton fan, cutting his arms and hands up in the process. So let me take a minute to talk about what the job is. It's an indoor skate park that has office workers. That's literally fucking it. Nothing ever else gets explained beyond that. What is this?
Oh my god.
I don't... realistically, if I had to think about it, it's probably like a skateboard company like that makes skateboards and designs skateboards, but no indication of that is ever given. And like everybody is dismissive of it. They're like, oh, Boyo has that skateboard job. Like that's... What is it?
You could explain that in 10 seconds.
He's
a graphic designer for the skateboards.
He's just a guy who works at a skate park, but it's an office building.
Oh my god.
Oh god. So Boyo is the office square, I guess. And
of course.
Steve-O is a lunatic and calls himself Shred, 2Ds. And his body is torn up from skating, and he smashes his head against a wall because, oh, Steve-O sure is funny. I just don't. How Pauly Shore and Steve? I want to punch the screen. I want to punch the screen. Girlie is talking to her vapid friends and has a conversation about how Boyo kind of sucks, but she loves him anyway. And geez, doesn't this sound familiar? Almost like every other fucking romantic comedy on this show. Outside, Shore is playing with a hose and sees a possum, which he thinks is a cat, and runs off from it. This will be important later. At the skateboard office, words I can't wrap my head around. A bombshell blonde woman comes up to Boyo and just out of the blue, out of just nowhere, just wants to fuck him. She starts unbuckling his belt while he's protesting. And she just, like, sits at his desk and, like, spreads her legs apart on his office chair and is just, like, sitting in front of him and starts yanking off his belt. And it's like, come on, what happened to the fun, Boyo? Like, what is happening?
Does she know him?
No.
What?
I don't. Well, I think the narrative they push in this whole fucking movie is that he was, like, this big party boy. But, like,
okay, that's
never reflected. Jesus
Christ.
Really.
I'm getting angry now.
Yeah. So she's unbuckling his fucking belt in this office, this open air concept skate park office. And like she's fucking Steve-O shows up and the chick just runs off and Steve-O berates him. Why is this happening to me? What god did I offend? Next scene. The couple is having a romantic dinner, cutesy banter. Eventually, Boyo proposes. It's meaningless. And, of course, Shore comes in to ruin it with nonsense. The couple tells Billy Zane and her mom via Skype about the marriage. Of course, the mom is super happy. Zane hates this idea because he hates Boyo. Eventually, Boyo himself joins, and Zane hangs up with a Windows 95 "You've been disconnected" box. Nice going, jerk-offs. Why did this movie just start with them being engaged?
I don't know. That would be easier. They needed to fill time.
Yeah, it's very short. The only thing I can say for this, it's much shorter than these usually are. It's like an hour and 20, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, they definitely had to just pad time.
So 6 months pass. We see that Shore is still in the guest house.
Of course.
Still there. He goes out to the lawn, and we see that there's a massive party happening. There's some fully nude and several other topless ladies wandering about, so at least I get that going for me, for whatever that's worth.
Boobies.
Inside the house, Girly is glaring at this. Girly sends Boyo out to break up the party, or she's going to call the cops on them. Boyo tries to go out there and break up the party, but gets, predictably, browbeaten by the many partygoers into doing shots. And by the way, I just spared you 5 minutes of descriptions of the various goons Shore has at this party who do the browbeating and will show up later. We get another montage of him being drunk and high and, like, a party. Again, I mean, for me, at least there's naked women. That's really all I can get out of this. But, like, it's just the same. It's just more like them doing party stuff. Like, is this this is what you're spending your fucking Pauly Sure credit on? Like, is that it? Is that the draw? What is this? Eventually, they end up blowing up the gazebo that Girly loves so much with fireworks. This montage, by the way, is 5 minutes long.
Holy shit.
The gazebo explosion is done in super slow motion, and we see Boyo is reveling in the glory days of, I guess, being a college wastrel. The coolest time of life, apparently. So the fireworks draw the fire department and cops. A fat cop in glasses shows up, and he and Shore instantly bond. The fucking cop. I'm explaining his whole story right now. He's a nerd with glasses. He's fat. He bonds with Shore right away, and he hates Boyo for some reason. Like, that's it. He just, like, he is super apologetic to everything Shore does, and he's a super dickhead to Boyo. He keeps showing up in this movie. Fuck it. I don't care. That's it. It's over. His storyline's over. Done. Boom. I'll spare you the bonding moment between Shore and this fat nerd cop, as Shore explains he lives in the guest house and isn't responsible for all the mayhem. Meanwhile, when Boyo shows up, he gets immediately arrested since he was, air quotes, hosting the party, while Shore denies all knowledge. While Boyo is trying to make his one phone call, bafflingly, again, old men who need to go away. We see that Lou Ferrigno is the desk sergeant. And if you aren't aware of who Lou Ferrigno is, which you may not be, he was the original Hulk. Like the original television Hulk in, I want to say the 80s or the 70s, was Lou Ferrigno.
So weird.
Yeah, and he's just here. He's just here as like a creepy desk sergeant. Like,
so many random guys who just need a small payday.
It's very odd. Yep. They're trying, like, because they're just trying to say, like, oh, if you like, this movie is the Netflix equivalent of, if you liked Pauly Shore, you'll like this careerless, talentless hack. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no problem with Lou Ferrigno, but, like, he's not on fucking, Modern Family, whatever the hell is on TV nowadays. I don't have cable. I don't know. He's not, like, he's not an actor in the zeitgeist anymore.
No, definitely not.
So I just don't understand. Boyo is in jail. Since Girlie took an Ambien and wears a sleep mask at night, we cut to her in the montage a couple times. She has no idea what happened last night. We see her calling Boyo's cell phone and leaving a message where she says now she's not sure if she can go through with the wedding anymore. I mean, okay, I guess, but she's a lot
Relationship drama.
She's a lot less worried about him than she would be, considering that the yard is exploded and your fiance is missing. You'd think he'd be a little more concerned than angry, but I don't give a flying fuckity fuck, so who cares? Screw it. Apparently, also, the aftermath of the party left a bunch of things in the shape of dicks all over the yard. So there's that, too. Because, again, dicks. It's just dicks are funny. A penis, apparently, just looking at a penis shape is funny. I guess.
I feel like dicks and penis-shaped things have the capacity to be funny with people you already know, and it might be an in-joke or something like that. But it should never be in a movie or a TV show. That kind of humor doesn't translate.
And, it's not...
Stupid, dirty humor between friends is one thing.
It's not even clever. It's just there's a bunch of party cups in the shape of a penis. There's, they took the potted plants out and made them into the shape of a penis. What is that?
It's fine for a bachelorette party. Why would you ever put it in a movie?
Right. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Ugh. So, the bridal party comes over, and we once again have a rehash of the friends telling her, ooh, maybe he isn't the right guy for you. In the middle of this, Boyo shows up and starts demanding Shore come out of the guest house. They argue loudly in the lawn. Eventually, Shore reveals that Boyo was out partying with them while Boyo is trying to deny it to Girlie. Because he keeps saying, no, I wasn't there. And, of course, Shore has pictures and video of Boyo blowing up the gazebo. Girlie freaks out because, obvious reasons, wouldn't you? Shore and Boyo argue. Boyo screams about how Shore is ruining everything. Eventually, Shore berates him enough that Boyo hits him with a gigantic uppercut and gets arrested by Nerd Cop again, with basically the same exact fucking scene, which is a waste of my precious, precious time on planet Earth. So, jumping ahead, Girlie busts Boyo out of jail, and by that I mean she just pays his bail. We don't get a cool scene of her breaking him out, which would be too much for me to ask. She reads in the riot act, and 5 minutes after his last scene, Nerd Cop comes back. Go away, please. Please, I'm begging you. Apparently, Shore has served Boyo with a restraining order. This comes up way less than you'd think, considering the rest of the movie is just Boyo versus Shore, but I guess whatever.
Fuck's sake, Larry.
In the only scene I vaguely enjoyed, the two, Boyo and Shore, are standing on their respective porches and just smoking and staring at each other, and they start shouting. Which just the thought of now obviously I don't smoke, but the thought of staring angrily on a porch at somebody I could see over a ravine who's also staring angrily and smoking is a funny scene to me.
Oh, yeah, I like that imagery.
So, yeah, that's the only thing that was vaguely oh, that's kind of clever. I cling to scraps. I needed something.
It's like when you're eating food out of a dumpster and you get a tasty cake that's only half moldy.
It's true. Oh, God. Man, I've had a rough life. So in bed, Boyo and Girlie argue some more about this. Boyo, somehow in the middle of the night, using only a laptop, manages to get Shore's power turned off. There's a whole scene with one of Shore's goons naked in the sex swing, and we see that Shore is clearly lonely without Boyo as his friend. But they didn't have a friendship at all. They got wasted together twice, and Boyo doesn't really remember either time.
To Pauly Shore, that probably does mean the equivalent of a friendship.
Well, Pauly Shore is a man-child.
A bosom buddy, if you will.
He's a man-child. He's Arthur.
Yeah, but not rich.
What? Do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know he's not rich?
Yeah, good point.
He has mountains of drugs.
Well, okay. He's well-to-do.
He has everything he wants. What's the difference?
Except friendship, Larry.
I'm going to walk you through this next sequence really, really fast. Pauly Shore drugs their water bottles with Molly. We get a fucking montage again of the
what's it, number 4?
Of the two of them getting slowly higher throughout the day. Eventually, the Molly kicks in. Boyo tries to fuck Girlie tries to fuck their ugly mailman, and Boyo tries to fuck the blonde bombshell from the office who tried to assault him before. The mailman was kind of funny. The mailman is this squat, older, ugly dude, But when she starts trying to fuck him, he's like, is this really happening? Yay! He throws his arms up and shouts, yay, this is happening, as she's like rolling around on the floor, basically sexually assaulting him. It's amusing only because it's like the perfect guy to be like, his fantasy was a woman raping him, basically. And so that was like, his performance was good. Eventually, Boyo figures out they've both been drugged before either of them can actually, like, fuck the people they're trying to fuck. So he calls her and races home, and then they fuck it out. So, yeah, Pauly Shore's just, drugged these people.
Good
guy.
God.
It's pretty fucked up, if you think about it.
That's a crime.
Yeah, it's also, they're just, like, she essentially raped that mailman. He was about to. I mean, he was, we're not going to get into that whole line of rabbit hole of bad, but...
Well, I feel bad for the mailman now. I mean, not that she was really going to rape him, but because he was into it.
Well, it's weird because she keeps like, it's not as weird as what's her name, like Kat assaulting Arthur last week with like lick my whiskey, but she's like getting weird with it, and he's like trying to get her off. But then as she's kicking him out, before because like Boyo calls and like, we're on Molly, don't fuck anybody, I'll be home soon. He basically just does say that. She like is kicking him out. He's like, no, I don't want to go. So I give credit to the mailman here. He did the best with what he had. It was a funny role.
I feel so bad for the mailman.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Pauly Shore just fucking drugged him with Molly, and I guess,
he's a bad man.
Yeah. They also wake up naked in the driveway and get stared at by passerby. And the next day, Boyo falls asleep at work and is unceremoniously fired by Steve-O. What was the skateboard office? What?
Steve-O's the boss?
Yeah, Steve-O owns that company.
Oh my God.
I don't understand what any of that was. And that's it. Steve-O's never in the movie again.
Fuck's sake.
He's in like 3 scenes. I don't understand, Isaac. I'm so mad. Back at home, now that he's fired, Boyo wants to beat Shore to death, but Girlie talks him down and tries to calm him. He agrees, but realizes that with no job, he has more time than ever to fuck with Shore. The next day, we see that he is having the guest house bug-bombed. Shore, who was still inside, stumbles out, and we get a little scene where Shore is all poisoned and rambling while Boyo laughs at him. Bloody fucking blah. Shore blunders away like Bigfoot into the neighborhood, and Boyo uses this opportunity to move all of Shore's weird shit out of the guest house. So, despite the fact that we keep cutting through time, we don't show the time, how much time has passed this time, even though we've had 3 time skips now. But somehow time has passed because Shore's been gone for a while. The yard is fixed, the gazebo's rebuilt, and we're at basically we're having rehearsal dinner with the mostly heretofore unseen wedding party. We've seen the bridesmaids very, very briefly, but not the groomsmen. And apparently, Girlie used to date a super duper ripped dumb one of the groomsmen, and that the dad loved him. In contrast, her dad, Billy Zane, you may recall, hates Boyo. And we get this whole back and forth about them and the wedding party. And, excuse me, what is happening? What are you doing? What is this pointless plot? Where is this coming from? What are you talking about? She's got an ex-boyfriend who's what are you talking about? Are you serious? What does Billy Zane suddenly matters? What in the fucking hell is this? Are you trying to shove plot in 50 minutes into this movie? The plot is starting with the fucking romance going off the rails. She's pissed off because he got high twice with fucking Pauly Shore. Okay, yeah, and yeah, he fucked up the whole yard when he was supposed to get rid of it. Yeah, Boyo sucks. Absolutely, no problem. I agree with you. What is this whole other side? He's gonna find validation with Billy Zane. What? What is this? Who are these new characters? It's just Pauly Shore. Just fucking get it over with.
Pauly Shore is coming to the wedding, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. So while this pointless scene is unfolding, we see Shore is dressed up in a fur coat and a World War I German helmet, and he has an animal in a cage. He opens it up, revealing that it's the possum from earlier. And by possum, I mean it's a possum puppet, because apparently this possum is supposed to be high on Flocka, that insanity drug we showed earlier. Credit where it's due.
Shut up.
Credit where it's due. The possum puppet is fucking terrifying. They did a great job of making this look like a possum high on the worst drug. It's got the equivalent, like as much as you can make it look real, of cartoon bugged out eyes. And obviously it's a puppet.
Prop department did a good job.
The effect of this puppet was like, that looks like a possum high as fuck on a drug that makes you insane. Like, they accomplished it perfectly. And I mean, as we know, I have a soft spot for puppetry, but so it's like
weird,
a 5-second. The scene is dumb, the contrivance is dumb. I'm okay with the puppet itself. The giant cartoon eyeballs looked real enough to be hilarious. So it fucks them up. They all end up at the hospital. One of the dudes got basically his throat ripped out, but also survived. Like, we see him get his throat basically ripped out, but he's survived.
That computes.
The doctor is flippant about their chances of survival in a scene which I assume the writers thought was funny. This was directed by a man named Macaroni. I forget his first name, but who cares? His last name is Macaroni.
Joe Macaroni.
I think it's not. I don't think that's right.
No, he's going to the top. He's going to be the next James Cameron.
Yeah, sure. We get another scene with fat nerdy cop, and I'm skipping it. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. Anyway, Boyo and Girly reaffirm their love and desire to get married in their beautiful home. Speaking of, we cut to the wedding itself. Once again, no time skip detail. Why would do it so many times before if we're not going to do it every fucking time? Billy Zane leads Girly to the altar in the backyard, clearly upset about the fact that she's decided to go through with it. He offers her $100,000 to turn around right now, but she declines. They at least tried to make Zane funny. Like, I have no problem with his acting. I don't care. I just don't care about him. That's the best I can say. He didn't enrage me. The priest is like a Hawaiian hippie dude. Now, spoiler, believe it or not, Pauly Shore is here, and his goons are scattered around the party. We see the goons from earlier are like taking the place of the waitstaff, and somehow nobody fucking recognizes them.
Why does he have a whole scheme?
Well, we didn't get to it yet. Shore's not in the guest house anymore. So
I know.
He clearly wants revenge. That's his whole plot.
Okay.
The priest, the problem is this Hawaiian priest, he's like a hippie dude. He's not a Shore goon. He's just a terrible priest. Like, he can't remember their names. He can't remember his lines. What the fuck is this?
That's really
is this
weird.
an unrelated he's a bad priest gag? Or is this more Shore fuckery? And either way, do these people not like screen the priest? Billy Zane is like a hardline ex-military guy. This is senseless. Whatever the intention of this gag was, it's lost on me.
Or at least have it set up earlier in the movie where, like, it feels like it's the kind of thing that they cut something out. And it's like...
I think they cut a lot. I think this is supposed to be a 2-hour movie. I'll bring it up briefly a little bit later. Because why
would you cut that much to get it down to 80 minutes?
Well, I'm guessing that. I don't have any... There's no details about this movie online. The Wikipedia page is pretty bare. I mean, the fucking Rotten Tomatoes page doesn't even come up. I didn't look at the IMDb trivia, but I imagine there's not much there. Because it's new, and it did poorly. Nobody liked it. Except for people who are actively high or people who are fucking 45 and have nothing better to do than watch Pauly Shore movies.
So our listenership, the population of Kansas.
Yeah. And me, apparently. I mean, I'm also deriding myself because here I am. I watched it twice. So I just don't understand. Like, this guy is not one of Pauly Shore's goons, as far as I know. He's just a bad priest. And, like, what is that gag? What are you doing? Shut the fuck up. Just get Pauly Shore out here and let's get it over with. Oh, by the way, one of the bridesmaids, I don't know if the actress has this. I kind of want to look into it now. She has like a 3-panel Ahigo tattoo in her arm, which if you're not familiar, that's like, do you know what that is?
Is it an anime cartoon or like cartoon strip?
No, it's like, yeah, it's like 3 panels of just Ahigo. I may be pronouncing it wrong. That's like the super close-up hentai faces of like the women coming or, having horrible things done to them.
Oh, okay. And they're like crossing their eyes and stuff.
And she's got like 3 panels of like 3 faces that on her tattooed in her arm. And I think it's real. It's not like, it doesn't come up. I think this woman just has that tattoo, which is amazing. And I think I'm in love with her. Something about that just really it has nothing at all to do with the movie. Like, it's mine.
That's very random.
It's fucking amazing. I might get that myself now.
Please think about it.
No, I'm good. So the
Get it along the shaft of your penis.
I don't want needles near my dick. So the reception is in the yard. As I said, the Pauly Sure goons are the caterers, so clearly fuckery is afoot. We get some more weird plot shit with the groomsmen, and then Zane and Boyo, and fuck it. Zane still doesn't like him. Girlie comes over and says daddy, because she's one of those people. And both Zane and Boyo respond. Ha! Do you get it, Isaac? Do you get it? Because they have sexual daddy play. That's comedy, you turd.
Do they do sexual daddy play earlier in the movie?
No. But I mean, yeah, that's fine. I don't think we need to see that. It's clearly a one-off gag of her saying daddy and both her father and
I guess
lover.
the joke makes enough sense.
Yeah, I don't think you need it. It's just so generic.
Yeah.
At one point in this conversation, Zane says how hard he is to surprise, and an old lady bumps into him, and he loses his mind, screaming about how never to sneak up on him. It's vaguely funny. It's the LaCroix of funny. It's not great, but it does something for you. And I bring it up only to mention the visible clouds of spittle flying out of his mouth while he's shrieking. I'm talking Triple H getting into the ring spitting. It's fucking wild.
Jesus.
He would be a one-man COVID super spreader.
You know who's doing that move now? Harry Styles.
Really?
It's a whole thing on TikTok where that's just his thing. Huh. He just spits the water up with a backlight on him.
My sister, who is in her mid-20s, I think she would kill a man to just shake Harry Styles' hand.
I would.
And she's in a loving relationship,
up and down
as far as I'm aware,
on Harry Styles' dick all day.
I don't think I've ever seen Harry Styles. I just know his name because my sister talks about him.
He is gorgeous in a quirky way. You probably would hate him.
When you just
his music's all right.
His music's whatever. As soon as you say the word quirky, I just want to punch you specifically because somehow everything quirky in my life, you seem to be the originator. So it's time for dinner and speeches. Zane gets up to give a speech and calls the mom up to say a few words. Mom is super giggly and can't stand up, seemingly sloshed. She declares how much she wants to suck Zane's dick. All of a sudden, the party starts freaking out because guess what? They've all been drugged. Everybody got drugged again.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we're doing this again. We get a chaos-fueled... What? What do we get, Isaac?
Chaos.
What is the punishment for my fucking sins, Isaac? What do we get?
Hijinks?
A montage.
A montage of hijinks.
Drug-fueled hijink montage.
Montage number 5,
A guy
I
with
believe.
dreads water skis via motorcycle over the pool and breaks his neck. The handsome ex-boyfriend gets mobbed by old ladies. Half the women get topless. An old guy in a walker hover round blows a hole in the house, manages to rip a bunch of wires out. I hate this and being alive.
Oh, man. Holy shit.
The couple goes inside to find Shore crashing through the ceiling where he'd been hiding. It's never explained, so don't ask. Apparently, he gave the whole party the entire treasure chest of drugs. We get a long fight scene where Boyo beats the ever-loving shit out of Shore, so at least this isn't a total waste. The only bad part is he doesn't kill him. Eventually, Zane cold cocks Boyo and comforts Girlie. Boyo and Shore end up in jail together. Shore tries to play off the whole thing like they're friends who just got into a spat and they're cool again. Boyo screams at Shore that he ruined his relationship with Girlie by hanging out with Shore. No, dude. Your relationship with Girlie got ruined by literally Shore's entire existence. But I'll scream about that at the end. Shore keeps trying to patch it up and pretend they've been a team and friends this whole time. Eventually, Girlie shows up to bail Boyo out. She tells him she is paying his bail, but that's it. The wedding is off and it's all over. Are you fucking serious? Oh my God.
Boyo didn't do anything.
This whole thing, she's upset and there's the whole conceit of their relationship falling apart is that his fucking friendship / rivalry with Pauly Sure is tearing them apart, Lisa. But it never happens. It doesn't happen. He gets high with him twice, and the first time it's like a fucking a spat you'd have over Isaac even taking the trash out in a week. What the hell? It's she's annoyed, but it's fine. They get engaged the next day. not a big deal. The second time, yeah, he gets super drunk and high and blows up the gazebo, and then spends the rest of the time trying to kill Pauly Shore. Essentially, he poisons the fuck out of him. And, like, but now she's like, oh, can't get married. You're a fuck up. It's been Pauly Shore. Pull a gun out of your pussy and shoot him in his head. Oh, God.
I'm scared you might pull your eyeballs out of your head with the way you're gripping your face right now. Please don't hurt yourself, Larry.
It makes me so mad. I'm plowing through the rest of the plot. Let's fuck this. So we get another fucking stupid, idiot, garbage montage.
God, that's sick.
It's a sad one this time. It's set over a song called Ocean Eyes, which is positively beautiful. And when I looked it up, I was shocked to find out it was sung by Billie Eilish.
Yes, I love that song.
She sung that song at age 15. It's unbelievable. And when I listened to it after the movie was over, and I was actually brought to tears. What? This, I had no idea. You know, I kind of disregarded her because, you know, she sings weird hipstery songs now. But it moved me to tears. I never would have expected that. So
that song is amazing.
If nothing else, this movie has given me that song. Great, and artist that I wasn't aware of. Oh, by the way, Girlie is pregnant. Did I forget to mention that?
So she's been pregnant the whole time, or she's just pregnant now?
No, she was pregnant at the end of my last rant. After she broke him out of jail or bailed him out of jail, she told him she was pregnant, and then she said, "Oh, also I'm leaving you."
Jesus,
I'm sorry. Did I forget to mention that?
It slipped through the cracks. It's okay.
So the sad montage is Boyo and Girlie and their separate sad lives now. It's so dumb. She's preggers as fuck and he's all alone and sad. Eventually the realtor calls them both and tells them they need to come to the house to put it on the market again. They both show up surprised that the other is there because they didn't realize they were both going to be there. And it turns out Shore put this whole thing together. He's fixed up the entire house after it got destroyed from the wedding. He says he sold Napoleon's hat because it turns out that all the paraphernalia shit he had was real. He had the real Napoleon's hat. He had the real skull of Richard Ramirez. He's a millionaire now.
Larry.
He's a millionaire now. Shut the fuck up. Shut your stupid fucking mouth. I wasn't done. He's a millionaire now. Okay, now I'm done.
Okay.
This is just Arthur. Isaac, you gave me Arthur.
Is. Yeah.
This is worse. I was mad. Yeah. I was mad as hell last week for a movie I didn't even see. I just had described to me. And somehow the next movie is just that, but worse. So much
beautiful.
It's the perfect. You congratulations. You have done for the context of the show. You've done beautifully.
At times like this, I feel like there must be a loving God up there.
Apparently. And I sure did something to shit in his oatmeal. So Shore explained that this was the house he grew up in. It belonged to his family, and he wants a family to live there again. I have 1,000,000 questions about the entire situation. I have so many. So many.
It's so stupid.
So Shore, like I said, he's a millionaire now because he found out all the shit was real. He says his parents died and left him the house. So I guess he was selling it all along, or you know what? I don't care. I release myself from care.
When you buy a house, you have to be in the same room as the person selling the house at closing.
I don't care. I did a ritual.
Larry.
I did a ritual to release myself from care.
It's very zen of you, Larry, but I'm...
He makes the guest house into a baby room and gives them the house. And they make up because it was never about love or money, or it was never about love or the baby. It was about money and the fucking house. Never their relationship. So why did you give me seeds about the relationship? Months pass and the baby is born. We see Shore is on a boat and he sends him a video saying he's coming soon to stay in the guest house. And they say, fuck no. And that's it. That's it! Ah!
God damn.
Pauly Shore was never good. He was never, ever fucking good. Gen X did this to us. That's right, you. You out there who fucking thought Encino Man was an underrated classic. You out there who are still mourning the death of Kurt Cobain. It's over. Get a job, sir. The bums lost. The bums will always lose. Except, no, they won't, because Pauly Shore still has work.
Larry. Oh, my
Everything
God.
about this movie is 100% the worst. The plot, the characters, the weird side plot with Billy Zane, the acting, the unnecessary groomsman plot, the fucking son he wished he never had. I didn't even bring that up. Everything about Pauly Shore and the entitled drug rich kid in his 50s rehash of last week's episode makes me want to vomit, eat the vomit, and then just so I can vomit it up again. Fuck this. Fuck you. It's done. I'm done. It's over.
Holy shit, Larry! Good God! I've never seen you quite like this. What's your score on a scale of 1 to 10?
Negative 1,000. You know what? No. Let me get a real score. Negative 1,000.
Oh my God! Well, I'm pleased as punch, Larry. I'll tell you that.
I'm fucking livid. Folks, I'm sorry if hopefully you can fucking pitch correct or whatever for the screaming I've done. Because I'm screaming some of the loudest I've ever screamed in my life. I do have a neighbor relatively near me who probably thinks I'm being murdered.
Well, in a sense, you are.
I kind of am. I'm being emotionally murdered here. That was... I really enjoy on the show going into the little minute details. I cut out so much shit because I could not do it. I couldn't do it.
This is unbelievably short. You tend to run pretty long, but we're only like an hour and 10 minutes.
This was horrible. Horrible. Absolutely. I don't understand how Pauly Shore has work. I truly don't know. I don't know who this is for, unless you're high. If you're high as fuck, just put a lava lamp up. That costs like $20. Put a fucking hour and a half long lava lamp and watch that high. Stupid.
I think this really is for Gen Xers who still think of themselves as party animals.
Seriously, this is for Pauly Shore and people like Pauly Shore. That's not a joke.
Yeah, it's not a young person's movie for sure.
It's not. I don't know what it is.
Like, why an 18-year-old is not gonna like this?
No.
I mean, if they're stupid and high enough, sure.
Yeah, it's if you're high. I don't know what being high is like, so I can't really speak to that. But my assumption is if you're high, this movie's for you. But you're absolutely right. It's for fucking Gen Xers who still think they're the same. Pauly Shore hasn't changed, and if you like this, neither of you.
That should be the tagline of the movie.
Yep.
Should be on the poster.
Yep. Fuck.
Oh God.
Shit.
Any final thoughts, Larry?
No.
Are you ready? Are you purging yourself?
I'm
of this
done.
Movie?
Oh man, boy, this. I hate this too much to never talk about it again. Like another movie I feel like I'm never going to talk about again, but don't really remember. But wow.
Well, I've heard it's already in pre-production, but we're getting Guest House 2 even houseier.
There's no way. That I'm pretty confident of that because there's no way this did well. I mean, it's straight to streaming, and I know those numbers are basically non-existent to us. But
yeah,
I can't imagine.
Well, you bumped up the numbers by 2, Larry.
Fucking great.
You're helping Pauly Shore's career. Keep chugging along like the little engine that could.
Retire.
Anyway, we are the Pals of Netflix. Thank you so much for listening. We love you all, and love you going along on these rage-filled journeys with us. Hit us up on Facebook, on Twitter. Send us an email, balsandnetflix@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And, pimp the show. Tell all the peoples, give it the ratings, all that fun stuff. And make sure to stay tuned for next week, because I'm covering probably what I think is the worst movie I have ever seen.
Yeah, at least the only solace in this is that I also did very well, and you are going to suffer next week.
This is unbelievably bad, and the ending is the craziest thing compared to the rest of the movie. I can't even. Yeah. I'm excited and angry to talk about it.
Oh man. Well, at least I've got that to look forward to.
So stay tuned next week. Next Sunday we'll be in your feed with Scales. Mermaids are real. Fuck, Larry, you did this to me.
Oh, thank God. You deserve everything and more.
All right, we love you. See you next week.
Smell you later. Stop writing. Go to law school.